What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, undefeated WBC American Heavyweight World Champion, Olympic bronze medalist, Deontay, the bronze bomber Wilder, responded to all of the talk and the rumors and reports that he was knocked out cold by Vladimir Klitschko in the sparring session, right? Deontay Wilder had responded to this, and shouts out to the General 78 Sports TV because he had this, he reported on this, and Deontay Wilder did this and reported on this and responded on this 2 years ago when you had guys coming out and stating that Deontay Wilder was knocked out by Vladimir Klitschko. You know, you had guys like Johnny Nelson reporting and saying Deontay Wilder was knocked out by Vladimir Klitschko in sparring, right? And Deontay Wilder clarified that, right? He stated that he only sparred Vladimir Klitschko one time, and the one time he did spar him, right? He said that he held his own, believe that, right? So he said that anybody that is willing to report, you know, rumors and without having truth behind it, right, should be ashamed of themselves, pretty much, right? He used different words, but I'm just gonna clean it up and say ashamed of themselves, right? And then he went on to state that, you know, boxers like Anthony Joshua, he planned on knocking him out cold, and Dillian Whyte as well, right? We know that these reports resurfaced as Dillian Whyte had came out and made claims of Deontay Wilder being knocked out by Vladimir Klitschko, and he was personally there. Johnny Nelson originally, you know, started these rumors and reports. Now, recently, Dillian Whyte has followed it up, right? We know that they have a agenda against Deontay Wilder, and I believe that guys like Johnny Nelson are trying to protect unified British heavyweight world champion Anthony Joshua from Deontay Wilder, because Johnny Nelson was one that said all of a sudden Deontay Wilder saw the atmosphere and saw the large crowd in the UK. Now he wanted to fight with Anthony Joshua, in which Deontay Wilder responded to that those reports as well, you know, from Johnny Nelson, those statements, should I say. And he said that he'd been wanting the unification, the undisputed bout with Anthony Joshua. It was that Anthony Joshua was saying he wasn't ready. So Deontay Wilder was like, listen, now he ready, let's go. He asked the sanction body, Deontay Wilder even asked the sanction bodies to pardon him and anybody else, any other sanction bodies that have mandatories for one bout so they could get it on for undisputed, right? And we know that those calls went unanswered, right? Because it didn't happen. So with that said, Deontay Wilder said and clarified he was never knocked out by Vladimir Klitschko. They did not spar numerous of times. He said they sparred one time, and best believe he held his own point blank and period. He plans on knocking out cold, though, those guys like Dillian Whyte and Anthony Joshua when it counts, right? See, those reports come out that Deontay Wilder was knocked out in sparring, right? Deontay Wilder saying, but when it counts under the lights, I do the knocking out, right? And he's absolutely right. We understand that. We know that he's either knocked out or not, at the very least, knocked down every opponent he has ever faced, right? He knocked out Bermane Stiverne. He knocked him down in the first round, and he knocked him out in the second time. Tyson Fury, it fought to a draw, but he dropped him twice in that fight, and arguably should have been knocked out, right? But the referee saw that it should have been, you know, Tyson Fury should have been given the opportunity to get up Jack Reese, right? So we know what that means, right? But anyway, you know, Deontay Wilder, you know, does all the knocking out when it counts, right? Under the bright lights, Deontay Wilder does all the knocking out, right? So, like Floyd Mayweather always say, and what happens in sparring stays in sparring. It should stay in sparring. It's two different things. What happens under the bright lights is when it counts, is when I shine the most. And that's what happens with Deontay Wilder. So the reports and the rumors and, you know, these things that surfacing that he was knocked out by Vladimir Klitschko, Dr. Steelhammer, former reigning world champion, unified world champion. You know, first of all, we know Vladimir Klitschko has a lot of power, and nonetheless, we see that Deontay Wilder has learned and took anything from the sparring sessions and applied it to when it counts, right? Because we have no recollection of him even hitting the canvas. But everybody he's faced has hit the canvas, right? And so we see guys like, Dillian Whyte stating that, oh, Deontay Wilder was knocked out cold and he was shaking. Well, when Deontay Wilder gets under the bright lights, the only people knocked out cold and shaking is his opponent. So it doesn't matter what's taking place in sparring. It matters what takes place when the bright lights are on, and that's when he shines the most. And not only does he shine the most, but he's knocking everybody out. So it's pointless to bring up and report that he's been knocked out in sparring, right? And this is the first time you hear Dillian Whyte make any mentions of this. Coincidentally, right? Now he's campaigning and been on this onslaught towards Deontay Wilder, to try to put himself in position to so-called get a shot at the WBC title. But he had plenty of opportunities, and he chose not to go those routes. So, now he's claiming that Deontay Wilder has been avoiding Dillian Whyte, but Deontay Wilder is fighting the likes of Tyson Fury and fighting the likes of Luis King Kong Ortiz and fighting the likes of, looking to fight the likes of Anthony Joshua. So why would he possibly be ducking Dillian Whyte, who we've seen knocked out cold already by Anthony Joshua in the 7th round of their fight, right? Dillian Whyte hasn't even fought for a title as of yet, right? So Dillian Whyte is a glorified contender, is what he is. He hasn't fought for a title. He's never held the world title. So I can't see why Deontay Wilder would be looking to avoid Dillian Whyte, who we've seen hit the canvas on multiple occasions, and we've seen knocked out. And Deontay Wilder has knocked down and knocked out every last single opponent he's ever faced. So I can't see why he would be looking to avoid Dillian Whyte. Dillian Whyte is doing nothing special that none of these other fighters are doing for Deontay Wilder to be that cautious that he's looking to maneuver around Dillian Whyte. This is the same Dillian Whyte that came in the ring against Maurice Watt and was undisciplined and came in 270 pounds. Everybody poked fun and shamed, guys like Andrew Ruiz Jr. when he came in his highly anticipated rematch with Anthony Joshua at 283.6 pounds. That's 284 pounds roughly, right? Dillian Whyte came in his fight 270 pounds. That's just 14 pounds south of where Andrew Ruiz came in, and that's nothing to sneeze at. That is far and above over any type of weight for a heavyweight. And Dillian Whyte is not far in height above Andrew Ruiz. He's only 6'4", right? So it's not like Dillian Whyte is this 6'9" monster, right? You understand? So he came in at 270 pounds, which shows that he's undisciplined. Dillian Whyte hit the canvas against Oscar Rivas. Dillian Whyte was knocked out by Anthony Joshua, right? Dillian Whyte was nearly knocked out by Joseph Parker in the 12th round of his fight, right? He was badly hurt in that fight with Joseph Parker. Dillian Whyte was arguably lost the first fight with Derek Chisora, who has 9 total losses. Dillian Whyte was on his way to losing the second fight with Derek Chisora until he hit Derek Chisora to his defense, and he hit him with a beautiful combination, a beautiful hook, and knocked Derek Chisora out. But this is the same Dillian Whyte that we've seen in trouble on numerous occasions, and this is the Dillian Whyte that is claiming that Deontay Wilder is avoiding him. I don't see any reason why Deontay would look to avoid him when we saw all types of chinks in his armor. We've seen him hurt before, so somebody with the power of Deontay Wilder would be looking to avoid Dillian Whyte is just silly at this point in time, right? It makes no sense. So with that said, Deontay Wilder put to bed all the rumors and reports that he was knocked out by Vladimir Klitschko, and he vows to knock out everybody else that's mentioning him getting knocked out, that being Dillian Whyte. So I can't wait. February 22nd, the highly anticipated rematch, Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder against Tyson the Gypsy King Fury. Can't wait for it to take place. February 22nd, Las Vegas, Nevada. It's going down, man. I can't wait to see how this fight plays out. I'm highly excited, and the sport of boxing is in great hands. As the heavyweight division goes, so goes the sport of boxing. And the heavyweight division is back with the Avengers, man. It's exciting. So I can't wait to see how this fight plays out. I'm highly anticipating and expecting Deontay Wilder to be victorious in that fight. I believe he will be far more patient. He will take his time. He will set up his punches. And I think he'll hide the right hand, land the right hand. And I think he'll ultimately knock out Tyson Fury. That's just my opinion. That's just my pick. But let's see how this fight plays out, right? It's highly anticipated. It's the biggest fight of the year thus far. Listen, the heavyweight division is back. Point blank and period. But that's all I got for y'all. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shouts out to the entire LDBC. Shouts out to New Media. Shouts out to Black Media Raw. Make sure you like and share these videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.